So today I want to share a story with you that honestly feels a lot like a modern fable. It's all about a man named Ah Zhuang, and what happened to him really shines a light on the often hidden human cost of our super efficient digital world. Now this story comes from a piece called The Agony of the Digital Proletariat. I mean, that title alone is just wow. It's incredibly powerful, and it really sets the stage perfectly for the intense, very personal story we're about to get into. All right, so let's meet our protagonist, Ah Zhuang. He's a software developer working in Shanghai. And for this story, you can almost picture him as this little robotic character, just trying his best to do his job inside this huge, complex machine. So this is his world, right? The life of a digital worker. He's caught up in what the source material calls a relentless system of pressure, a system that's built for one thing and one thing only, maximum output, often at the cost of pretty much everything else. And that pressure, it shows up in a few key ways. Of course, there's the extreme workload. That's a given. But on top of that, there's constant monitoring. If he's away from his desk for just a little too long, someone's going to ask questions. The office itself is jam-packed, a choice made to save a little money on space. But that decision leads to a problem that sounds kind of small at first, but it becomes huge. There are just not enough toilets. What all this creates is this truly unforgiving environment. It's what you might call the tyranny of scarcity. It's this bizarre situation where a system is so focused on efficiency that it creates a critical shortage of a basic human need. And suddenly, something simple becomes a source of stress day in and day out.
And to give you an idea of how bad it is, imagine a ratio of about 50 employees for every single toilet stall. Yeah, you heard that right. The result? Insanely long lines all the time. A basic biological need is now at the mercy of supply and demand, and the supply is dangerously low.
So, you can see where this is going, right? This daily stress is a ticking time bomb, and it's about to go off. We're at the point of a desperate countdown, the day when a simple human need turns into an absolute crisis for Ah Zhuang. One day, his stomach is really bothering him. He tries to hold it, to just power through his work until the very last second. He finally rushes to the bathroom, and what does he find? The same long, unmoving line. The source describes his feeling with this line: "Every minute and every second felt especially long." You can just feel the panic building, the physical pain of waiting, while your body is just screaming at you.
So you've got this classic unstoppable force meets an immovable object situation. On one side, you have Ah Zhuang's immediate, uncontrollable biological need. It's nature calling, you can't stop it. And on the other side, the system's reality, a long, static queue, an immovable object. Something's got to give.
And eventually, something does. He hits his absolute physical limit. The source puts it so bluntly, he couldn't control it anymore. It says his body felt like it was about to explode.
This is it. The moment everything just breaks, and the real price he pays isn't the physical pain. It's the profound public humiliation.
He can't wait for a stall any longer. In a moment of just sheer total desperation, he does the unthinkable. He rushes over to the men's urinal. And this right here, this is the core of the agony from the title. He relieves himself right there under the terrified gaze of the entire queue. See, it's not really about the act itself. It's about the complete and total stripping away of his dignity in front of all of his coworkers. He's been reduced from a person to just a desperate biological function. But here's the thing. This story, as awful as it isn't just about Ah Zhuang. His story is really a symbol for something way bigger, a kind of modern agony that many people share.
Which brings us right back to this idea of the digital proletariat. So what does that mean? Well, it's a term for this class of workers whose physical comfort, their mental health, even their basic human dignity are all sacrificed on the altar of relentless data-driven efficiency that these modern companies demand.
So you see, Ah Zhuang's story, it's not just some shocking thing that happened. It's an allegory. It's a powerful, brutal example of what happens when human needs are just flat out ignored, crushed by dehumanizing systems that see people as nothing more than cogs in a machine.
And a story really forces us to ask ourselves a pretty tough question. As we build these systems that are more and more efficient, more optimized, more productive, what part of our own humanity are we willing to pay as the price of admission? What's the real cost of squeezing out that last little bit of efficiency?